Oh, dueling top 10 list. Addie, what's wrong with Mommy's pants? What's wrong with them?
They whipped.
Yeah. We get in the car, she goes, Mom, your jeans are whipped. So, we have... I don't need... Oh, yeah, I do need this because I need my... Haha, I almost tricked myself. We are going to do our top 10 list tonight. Now, Amy and I have dueling top 10 lists. I'm not showing you. You can't look.
Ooh, I can see.
No, you can't. 10 through 1, top 10 overall, Ontario. Dominic was going to do a top 10 list, but since there's only 10 horses in Ontario, it wasn't that hard to do. But I wanted to get one for you guys. I was so impressed today. I had such a great time training the babies. The weather was nice. The horses were good. The track was great. It was just a good day overall. So I had said to Amy, I am going to do a video of the 2-year-olds. And
There's a car in the car. There's a bug in the car.
oh, that's okay. He lives here. His name's Bernie. So I'm going to do a 2-year-old list in the opening tomorrow. Tomorrow for you. And is it supposed to be sunny tomorrow too? I hope so. It's beautiful right now. So let's do our top 10 list. All right, Amy. You've gone with all the horses? You've seen all the horses? I don't know. I've noticed that the other day. You did it probably.
No, I did not.
So we are going to do... Addie Bear, shh. We are going to do...
This week.
This is for this week. That's right. And it allows us... The reason we do this is because it allows us to trim the list. Otherwise, we would literally have a stroke trying to get to 10. And that's because we're fortunate this year to have a lot of really talented horses right now. And I don't have a problem saying that. You know, people saying, oh, you always say everything, all the horses are good. And this. No, I don't. I tell you guys what's what all the time. And when it comes to the babies, I do love doing the top 10 lists, but it is hard. So, Captain Incredible, not on the list this week because he's not in Ohio or Ontario, and we didn't see a video of him. And Rosa and Alexandra didn't train this week. Anybody that made a break didn't make my list. I don't know if they made Amy's list. If they did, they shouldn't have, but that's her list. So, we're going to start right now. I'm going to open it up. I'm opening it up. Number 10 for me, Grand Slam Dio. It was tough. She was third, but to be fair, I told everybody the other day the weather was horrible. I didn't want to go. Do you ever watch any of the videos?
No, I didn't watch it. Whatever.
That's truthful. I thought you were going to lie and say, oh, yeah, I watch all the videos all the time. Yeah, I do that. So I'm glad you tell the truth. That's good. Good for you. It hurts a little.
I watch the races.
Yeah, no, it hurts a little that you don't, but I mean, I'm glad that you're telling the truth. Grand Slam Deal was third, but I told everybody the weather's bad. Just go, Addie, go easy on the end of the mile. And I just let Grand Slam Dio coast out of the turn. This affiliate only trained once in the last 2 weeks because we'd gone easy with a number of these horses. And then the weather, they were supposed to train Tuesday, back Friday. But it poured rain Tuesday and Wednesday, so they only get out one of those 2 days. And then Friday we come in, and it's freezing rain and hail. The track is not good. We just went easy. And Grand Slam Dio, I just put her in neutral coming out of the turn. And then Kadoo had jumped on me, I think... Who was the other one coming 100? Was that you with Rosetta, I guess? She was flying on the outside, and I just couldn't start her up in time. It didn't matter. She trained great. I've been super happy with her. Very well-bred filly, and I like her. But it was tough. I had 2 or 3 horses that were fitting into that number 10 slot, but I went with Grand Slam Dio. Amy?
Manhattan Money.
Manhattan. Ooh, made the list. Now, I've told everybody.
I have money.
You do have money. You're right. Manhattan Money and Never Lose Felix both have a lot of shares left, and for good reason. For a good reason. Felix has made 1 million breaks, and that was Jason the other day. We kind of maybe made fun of Jason a little bit. He hit Felix a swat when 1, he didn't have to, and 2, he's made 1 million breaks in the same place.
Why are we talking about Felix?
Because Manhattan Money and Felix have a lot of shares left, and they're in very similar situations. Both horses were not... people don't really give them enough respect.
But Manhattan Money's been consistently
He's getting better. I think you're going to see Felix do that, and that was where the parallel lines came in, is that Manhattan Money is getting stronger and faster and better, and he's well-bred, and he's a nice horse. Felix is a little more lean, a little more frail, and he's coming a little bit slower, but he's coming. And these are 2 horses. Manhattan Money, I'm glad to hear that he's on your list. Number 10, Manhattan Money. Do you want to add anything? Because you haven't gone with him.
No, I actually haven't. I just have seen him finally starting to progress in the right direction. He's kind of just been, forgot about for a while.
And that was a good mile.
Yeah.
2:23 was a heck of a mile yesterday in that track. I just got up. That was the only set that went fast was that set. I got up and beat him at the wire with Green Glitter who both of us will likely talk about later. But Green Glitter, I think very highly of. I think she's a nice filly, and certainly no slouch to be picked off with, especially when Manhattan Money did all the work himself on the front end. Number 9 for me, Woodmere Beta. I suspect you're going to see her climb the ranks here very soon. That filly wowed me today. Very, very impressed with the Maritime bred filly. This is the 3/4 sister to. This is the 3/4 sister to Woodmere Steel Deal. And I forgot a little different backstory. I think I'd said it one other time, and Jason brought it up. Her sire, we claimed. Jason claimed for somebody in PEI who was racing in a claimer in Ohio, and Jason told. I remember I came to the barn that night. He said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Guy from the Maritimes called me and asked me to claim this," and he wasn't in a high claimer. Claim this horse, Bet the Moon. I said, "Why?" I guess he's very well bred, and they want to breed him in the Maritimes. Woodmere Beta is by Bet the Moon. Bet the Moon ended up in the Maritimes because we claimed her and sent her home for them. Well, we didn't claim her; that guy claimed her, but so a pretty interesting story in that regard, also. So Woodmere Beta, I never went with her before, and I put her in a couple of bad spots today just to see what she'd do. She's all business. I really, really like this filly. Very impressed with this filly today. Number 9 for you, Amy. Hey, Addie, sit down, sweetheart.
I put Rose Run AJ.
Hey, Dada.
Rose Run AJ.
My mom has 2 whips in her pants.
2 whips in her pants? Do you think we got to sew them before we go in the restaurant? Did you bring any needle and thread?
You have chocolate on your face.
Yeah, you have chocolate on your face. What are you going to do about that? Where'd you get the chocolate, by the way? You're not a very good thief. It's all over your face. You look like Winnie the Pooh who just got caught in the honey jar. Who'd you say?
AJ.
Rose Run AJ. Wow, okay. Rose Run AJ. Let's go. Give it to me.
Hey, Daddy,
Rose Run.
Well,
I see 2 whips.
Yeah, there's 2 whips. Okay, but sit down, sweetheart. 2 whips in her pants. Yep.
he's deserving to be on the list every week.
Oh, he certainly
all
does.
the time.
Addie.
But to be honest, the reason he's not up further is because other horses have kind of jumped forward this week that have not normally been on the radar.
That's fair.
So, yeah. He's,
Sit down, you.
I know that he trained well and behaved. He trained well and behaved himself yesterday.
It was very good.
And I thought he deserved to be on there.
I thought he was super impressive myself. Number 8 for me is Manhattan Money. I've been very floored with this horse. I think he's going to come forward. Everything you said is 100% correct. I've been waiting for him. This horse, tell you what he is, a little skittish, big, strong horse. You can't roughhouse him. You can't, like a lot of the horses sometimes, you got to, hey, get out of that. This guy near tore my head off. Struck at me and hit me right in the eyebrow. Cut my head open when we were, oh yeah. He's a big boy, and if he feels threatened, here comes the right hook. There's no, he's like you're in a bar fight with him all the time. He wants to throw the first punch. But he'll stop. He'll throw one and be like, "Are you done?
Terrifying.
Is that enough? Because I got more." Yeah. And that's just how he is. But he's getting better and better and better, easier to work around, and he's always been good on the track. But the other day, that was a heck of a mile. 23 on that track in that weather.
He's too big for that track too.
Ooh, he looked very, very good yesterday. So Manhattan Money for me is number 8. You.
Grand Slam Dale.
Grand Slam Dale made your list too. Okay.
We already really talked about her. You talked about her in great detail
That's true.
a minute ago.
She's a very nice filly. Hey, I wonder, can you not be a chatterbox? Must be Amy's side of the family.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
What?
What happened?
I actually saw Jamie go in, so we can't take too long.
Okay, well, there you go. All right. No volume, and I mean
They're
none.
not bringing those inside.
No phones inside.
That's not coming inside.
So number 8, Grand Slam Deal. That's fair. I like it. Number 7 for me is Rosetta. I know she's much further up your list. You see the look on Amy's face. Much further up the list. And I think she is going to be one of her best fillies. In fact, stop it. I had said in the HRU video that of the horses going to New Jersey, I don't know who's going to New Jersey, but I would suspect that filly might show up. I think she has a lot of speed, a lot of talent, and she is tough. Rosetta. I think Rosetta, she's New Jersey and Kentucky.
I know.
We can't take them all to Kentucky right away. I think New Jersey is where you're going to see Rosetta show up end of June. Very, very nice filly. So Rosetta's number 7 for me. I know she's not number 7 for Amy. Who is?
I put Kadoo.
Kadoo. Okay.
He was not 100% sound, and I can't believe he didn't run, to be honest, because he was trying really hard not to run.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
It's good that you say that, because People say all the time, it looked like he was trying to run. They say that all the time, like in a negative light.
Yeah.
It never dawns on people that these horses are just trying their ass off not to run.
Yeah.
And Kadoo, his feet kill him, but he's lost shoes and broke his foot all up. The track was hard as a rock. I was surprised he stayed at it.
Yeah.
That was it. That
And
horse,
won
he's
the
tough.
set.
Yeah.
Like, not just
Yeah.
stayed at
And
it.
it wasn't like we were going the other way. We were marching,
Yeah.
and he came out of the 2-hole and blew right by. He's a nice colt. He's a tiny little Marseille, and he was one of my top picks for the sale. Just on how his video looked, he was small, not super bred, but just a beautiful horse, and he can dance. Addie, I'll take the phone
So
away.
more just because his attitude is there,
Yeah.
his work ethic is there, and he's clearly, he can work through some stuff.
I don't disagree at all with what you said. I think everything you said is 100% correct. Number 6 for me, Chicago Hall. I think Chicago Hall is going to make it much higher. I think we're going to have a heck of a year in Ontario this year. We got some really, really nice trotters, and even the Pacers, we manage them properly. We'll find the spots for them. But the trotters, I think we got a... Now, in fairness, I saw 2 of Louis Philippe Waz jogging around when we were leaving. They look nice, too. I don't know how much he's been with them or what he's done with them. Danny knew them right away. He said, that's a Resolve, and that's a... I forget what he said the other one was. Maybe a Green Manalishi. And he said they were both look very good on the track. I only saw them jogging around. They look nice. But Chicago Hall, the breeding is there, the attitude is there, and the power is there. And I love Chicago Hall. You watch how good Resolve Indeed was, but watch where Chicago Hall came from to get to within half a length of you going under the wire.
I know. I saw
Nice
him.
colt. So Chicago Hall number 6 for me. 6.
Green Glitter.
Green Glitter? Who's that? It's one of my
I
favorite
don't
horses.
want to talk about it. Just move on.
Green Glitter is a nice filly. They don't like her in the barn because she's a little crotchety, right? But she loves me to death, and she is the sweetest filly to be around. But it's funny, Lauren was walking by her one day, not paying attention. She kicked her, but kicked her just hard enough to let her know, hey, that's your freebie. Next one, I'm going to tear you up. It was funny to see.
But no, it's not like ears pinned and shift over. It's ears up.
Yeah, bang, give you a little, hey, how you doing? Just give you a little kick.
Like,
She doesn't do that around me. She's a sweet filly, and I love her to death. I love how personable she is. She has her own persona. It's really odd.
all the green shoe fillies. do,
Yeah,
though.
but she's a lovable filly.
Yeah.
I like her a
from
lot.
last year.
Number 6 for you is Green Glitter. A
Yes.
little unfair, but we'll keep going. Number 5 for me is Momento Mory. I could have put him right on number 1. It sounds like Amy may have put him on number 1. He's starting to come forward again. We're just getting him, as I said to Jason, we just got to stay ahead of him. He's running in, running out. We got to pay attention and stay ahead of him. We went to an open bridle, switched him back to a blind bridle, put a couple little line pulls on him. He's still running in, running out. He put a little mark on his left knee, which is nothing. I think this horse has a very bright future. I think he's a very good horse, and I think he's going to show it. He has all the attributes you want to see heading into a stake season. Now, it is April. We still have a few months to go before we're right in the trenches. But Momento Mory, to me, just screams nice horse. Number 5. Your number 5.
Westland Warrior.
Westland Warrior, okay.
I've gone with him a few times. I don't particularly enjoy going with him because
Doesn't steer the greatest.
he doesn't steer great. He's on the shaft. You
got to stay ahead of him.
He confuses me.
Yeah,
and
you
I
got to
don't
be
like it.
2 steps
I
ahead
know
of him.
he's fast.
Ava, will you go in and meet with Jamie? Just make sure they grab the table, honey. We'll be in 2 seconds. You and take your brother there, Bruce the barber.
No cars, no phones.
No
guys.
phones yet. Go on in. Just tell them we're finishing up our top 10 list.
I'll let you go.
So,
Anyways, since you
Wesam
started
Mory.
going with him and you changed some gear and he's been
He's so good.
He's been doing really well.
the thing I love about him, he's a Father Patrick who they've been known to be a little bit moody at times, but the Father Patrick's this Father Patrick. The thing I love about him, the other day we were training and I came first over into a good colt and had a good one I towed up into me, in with me, and we got to the head of the lane and I didn't even have to shake the lines at him. It was all business. He was waiting to get to the head of the lane. He knows his job. He loves to do it well. Takes 2 strides to switch leads instead of 1 right now. He's just touching and interfering a little bit. 2 things to take away. He's going to grow, and as we feed him more speed, that will dissipate. It will. Secondly, no 5/8 or no half-mile tracks in Pennsylvania. He's a Pennsylvania bred. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with Westland Warrior. Really nice colt. I believe that's a world record that his sister has at Northfield Park, 50-4. So lots of speed in that family and lots of pop. I like Westland Warrior. It's a good pick. In fact, so much so, he's my number 4. I think Westland Warrior, as I said, he's just got a bright future ahead of him. I like the attitude, and I think most trainers that have had a number of Father Patricks would tell you it's attitude, right? It's either good or it's bad. The bad ones, it's hard to chip away at it. The ones that have a better attitude are much easier to work with, and the work ethic, you combine his attitude and his work ethic, you know, as I said, you come first over with a 2-year-old in with other horses that can trot with him or her, and then you add in a big headwind, freezing rain. Usually when you get to the head of the lane, they're looking for a way out. They're looking for stage door, left or right. No. This guy's head check was just starting to tighten up when he got to the head of the lane and gone. And that's what I want to see. And I really like Dora. So my number 4 is Wesam Warrior. Yours?
Chicago Hall.
Okay, Chicago Hall.
He was really good. Like, well, I only see him every other week.
Yeah.
But 2 times ago, he finished right with me. Yeah. And today, I was kind of just sitting there with resolve because I knew I kind of opened up on you guys a little bit.
Yeah, you're showboating. You're
no,
okay
I
to say
wasn't
it. You were showboating.
I just was leaving her alone, and I could
If she was
hear
on a
him.
boner bike, you would have been up on your back wheel. I know. I saw you. A little bit of a showboat.
Can
and then
I
the
talk?
whip jump. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
No, I
thanks.
apologize.
So then I could hear a horse coming, and I wasn't sure if it was you.
No.
It was not. It was Chicago, and he was accelerating quickly down the lane.
He
actually probably could have went by me if.
I wish he had of, and we had saw you tuck your whip and showboat. That is the greatest ever. I wish he'd have blown right by you. Anyway, I don't blame you. Number 4. My number 3 is Green Glitter because she's a nice filly. We talked about her a bit earlier. She has been the fastest horse now because that I believe was the fastest set we've gone in Ohio to date.
Where'd you go in?
2:23.
No, I went in 2:23 with Kadoo 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so it equaled it. I went in 2:22 then. How do you like that?
Nice.
But she, I like how she did it because she's another filly, and I was saying to Dominic.
Jamboree. I got in trouble.
Yeah, no, he went 2:25 with her. But thanks for trying to oversell it. But anyway, what I'd said to Amy, I tell everybody all the time: babies, if you just miss training sets, they're not as good, right? They're athletes and they really need to work. And we gave the week off to Grand Slam, we gave the week off to Green Glitter, and then Tuesday it poured rain. Couldn't train them at all. So they're coming in off 10 days of hard training, and she just went out and won the set in 23. Grand Slam deal just got picked off. They were very good, but that's a telltale sign of a horse that understands their work. Very professional attitude, and that's what I want to see. So that I love Green Glitter for a million reasons. My only concern with Green Glitter is I don't know if she has a ceiling, right? The reason I'm a little gun shy, and again, Enzo, and Steve hates when I bring his name up. Enzo was a Father Patrick, right? Green Shoe was by Father Patrick, so you have the same kind of line. Enzo kind of fooled me. I thought he was going to be a serious stake horse, and he just ended up being an okay horse. There's nothing wrong with that, having an okay overnight horse, but it stings a little when you start off with an attitude he's going to be a serious stake contender. So I don't know where Green Glitter's ceiling is. Does she have one? Is she going to win in 56 her first start, or is 57 going to tie her up? Regardless of what she is, we'll find a spot to do well with her because she's too smart and likes her work too well not to be a good horse. I just don't know if she has that ceiling. So she's my number 3. You?
Resolve Indeed.
Okay, number 3 for Resolve Indeed. Okay. Maybe you can tell everybody, just tee it up a little bit because you went with her today. I gone with her 2 weeks ago, and I think she's a stone cold killer. A month ago. A stone cold killer. I love this filly a lot. Her and Princess Dream, I love them both.
I like her a little. I would say, like, if you made me pick, Resolve Indeed, quieter, very smart, and you can tell that she's, like, I found the other filly a little warm the last time I went with her.
Yeah, but that's
and I know that that's muscle mass and that happens. But Resolve Indeed, she just sits there, and then you ask her to go, and it's like she already knows.
I felt bad because in the HRU interview, I did pick Princess Dream first, but Princess Dream is a half-sister to the world champion that won the Breeders' Crown last year, right? Princess Dream is bred to be a killer. Yeah. Resolve Indeed was a filler that we paid like 17 or 20,000 for.
Maybe.
But she was a filler. She fit what we were looking for. We wanted an Ontario trotting filly, and this filly fit our budget and worked. Nothing special, nothing flashy. She's a Rudy. When you put her on the field, she works.
It's April, like that pedigree stuff usually comes out later.
But she looks like she's a killer. But I felt bad because I didn't put Resolve Indeed in the HRU video because there was such a stronger backstory behind Princess Dream, and they're very similar in where they're at right now. Well, one's cut off, but she'll live. My number, I'm at 2. Am I at 2? Number 2, Rose Run AJ. Oh, you put him way down at like 9. Rose Run AJ today, this week, has done his work great the last 2 weeks. My only dig, and as I said to Jason, was he was on the front. So this fast colt. But even if you grab him a little bit, he'll make a noise. But we've scoped him like 10 times, now 8 times. Never once anything wrong. No redness, no pimples, no ulcers, no bruising, no nothing. But he'll make a noise. So we put a choke plate on him. Still would make a noise with a snake cord on. But because we had bought that chain the other day for Born to Dance, I said, put that dog chain on that horse, see if he's any better. More relaxed, and respected it very much. Never made a noise, and took him to the back, raced him off the pace, and he was airborne. Now, I did hold on. I thought he beat me. It didn't matter anyway. He was just sitting. He was just buggy riding. Super fast horse. You went with him, I could talk you into believing he's a 3-year-old right now. Easily. Very, very fast horse, and I'm cheering for all our horses. And I think everybody stole all my shares off of Rose Run AJ anyway, so I don't even know if I have a theoretical financial dog in the fight. But a very, very nice horse, and I am cheering for everybody with this horse because he wants to be good, maybe a little too good sometimes, but he was perfect with the chain on the other day. I had him at number 1 for like 10 minutes, and I moved a horse to number 1 instead of him. I believe he's a solid number 2. Amy?
Momento Mory.
Momento Mory. On the list, no doubt. We already talked about Momento Mory. You went with him a couple of times.
No, yeah, not in a while though.
Yep.
I loved him until I had that
incident
with the bridle, and I haven't gone with him since.
Yeah.
And I hate that affects my list because.
Well, it's not his fault. He had the bit got hung up a little bit in the head halter, and he got on a line on Amy, and she couldn't steer him.
And I almost cleaned out 3 people on the track.
Oh, you were feet away from 3 people. You were fine. But very fast colt, I agree. I think if you were literally to put a gun to my head now and say, okay, you're going to win 1 stake race this race, for sure, you're going to win a stake race this summer, you have to tell me who it's with. I might pick Momento Mory. He might be my slam dunker for a stake horse this year. And I don't mean to jinx him, and I don't believe in that anyway, but if you were to force me to say you need to win a stake race this summer, you need to tell me who it's going to be with, I can pick any horse in the barn. I'm going to go with Momento Mory. I think he's squared away, he's sound, he's tough, and he understands his work. He would be my pick, I think. So it's a big statement. Number 2, Momento Mory. My number 1, Resolve Indeed. I think Resolve Indeed is it. They have to get to a point where they're the total package. They do everything perfectly. They understand their work, and they got that eye of the tiger. They got that chip on their shoulder, that grit. She has everything going for her. Everything going for her. And although she wasn't an expensive baby, and I'm putting her ahead of a lot of horses that were, what I see is a filly that wants to beat up on everybody in Adeline and is absolutely merciless on the track. I love the no mercy feel to them. When they get to the next bridle, when they get to the horse in front, and there is zero hesitation, they just want to grind them into the ground. I love that feeling. And that filly, I see it in her. I felt it in her when I trained her before. She's got everything going on right now. So that's my number 1. Amy? Rosetta.
Yeah.
Now, Rosetta, well, you can tell them because you've been going with her.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say it after you say what you're going to say. You go first. Paper, scissors, rock.
2 things with her. One, she's wearing, have you explained the vet wrap with the inserts?
No. So I've hung her up to keep an eye on how she's trotting. So what we'll do a lot, and I just told Dominic this, what we'll do this time of year a lot of times is take all the weight we can off them behind. And if a lot of the horses are just touching on their ankle, we'll take a piece of a scalper or a bell boot and put it over that area and vet wrap their legs. 1, that's the least amount of weight other than nothing that you're going to put on them. And 2, I can see if there's any marks on the vet wrap easily. Boots, not so much all the time, right? Because they will get scuffed up. They will get dirty. So you can't always tell, but with vet wrap you can. So if the horses are interfering a little bit, I'll put polo wraps on them and then go over top with vet wrap. Then I can see every single place they're touching and how bad they're touching. Some horses might gouge that vet wrap, where other horses you might just see a depression in the vet wrap. You know they're touching, but not bad. Do you want to tinker with their shoes, or do you want to just wait and see if they get out of it? Now Rosetta, I just have the bell boot over top with the vet wrap, and every week she punches through that vet wrap onto that rubber piece and has really marked herself up once in a while too. Now we can put the boots back on her.
But I find it, I don't want to say a good sign, but there's not a lot of babies that will do that when they train. Stay at it, not put steps in, accelerate, kind of work through that
Because
situation.
it falls under the heading of winners win, right?
Yeah.
When you see horses that go the extra mile to do their work, you know, and all the time, the caretakers, they don't know all the time. They're like, oh, Rosetta's marking herself up for this horse. What are we going to do? Like, it's a big deal.
It's just
That's why we have gray spray. Spray it, cover it up, and you'll be fine.
Hey, it's been a dad minute. You guys done yet?
Yeah, get out. I'm coming. He's getting a little yappy. He's lucky that you're not allowed to beat your kids anymore. So, Rosetta, I love, and that's the thing. That's what I want to see.
Training well for over a month. Eric's been going with her before he left, and then I started.
Freedom Hill is another horse I wanted to put on my list, but she ended up
I forgot
little.
about her.
No,
Oh,
she
made a
didn't train.
break.
Yeah, she didn't make a break, but she kind of pulled up. Anyway, these are the horses I want to see them coming forward. Our job right now is to polish them up best we can. The rough areas, work hard on them, add some weight, take some weight off, put the hobbles on, add a head pull, a Murphy blind, get them to where they're doing the work right, and then ask them to go forward. So they're all in this transitional period where some of them might be making breaks or making mistakes. We talked about Never Lose Felix. We talked about Manhattan Money. But when you get them going where they're comfortable and happy, then they start to come forward. So that February to April deadline, almost, that meaty part of the order, we're trying to iron out the wrinkles, whether it be shoeing or whether it be equipment or what it might be. We're trying to get them to a point where we can ask them to accelerate. And there's nothing more interesting than seeing the horses train the way they did, as Amy said. Rosetta, for me, today, in just the extreme here and now of today, April the 6th, Woodmere Beta blew me away. Resolve Indeed blew me away. Chicago Hall, so impressive again. Then you look at yesterday, training those horses through the hail and the freezing rain on a firm track. That in itself shows adversity, right? And that is a tough thing to look good through. Then you see a horse like, the reason I like Green Glitter. Here's a horse that isn't trained in 10 days yet, just went out and trained on that cold, icy day on a firm track, got up and went by a horse at the wire to win the training set in 2:23. That shows determination. These are all things that we take into account when we're dealing with the babies, and I'm just so impressed with what I've seen with this crop again. So many nice horses. I just can't wait for the summer to begin. But again, I hope it's sunny tomorrow. I want to do my opening in my 2-year-old list. Well, the sun is out because it was a beautiful day today. I'm going to check the weather. Anyway, I will talk to you all very soon. That is our top 10 list. You got to talk to Dominic. Addie has given you an update on Amy's attire. We're all up to date now on clothing and weather and horses. I will talk to you all soon. Take care.